Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Valerie Bell. Here are this week's top stories. A new twist in the former case of Petersburg lawyers Van and Mari Hardenberg, who were accused of abduction in 2019.
An email from the Petersburg fire chief raises more questions and concerns among the city's firefighters.
Petersburg mourns the passing of a former mayor, honoring her legacy of civil rights impact.
2 Tri-City community members have been recognized with Fort Lee's highest civilian honor.
And LNN will host a forum for city council candidates later this month. More on these stories and more after this.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vapor nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Hourglass Realty Group.
Opening the door to your next journey.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at state news. With a stated goal of cutting Virginia's regulatory requirements by a quarter, Governor Glenn Youngkin announced last week major reductions in trade regulations. The Virginia Board for Contractors voted in August to lower the requirements for certain trade occupations. Trade workers are in short supply across the country, and such regulatory shifts could aid in increasing the number of skilled trade workers across the Commonwealth. The board's decision lowered the number of years it takes for a worker to license as a journey-level tradesman. Now, workers seeking licensure in the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and gas fitting fields will be required to have 2 years of experience rather than 4. Additionally, continuing education will no longer be mandated for the trades, and workers will have more options for meeting their licensing requirements through both experience and training. While many applaud the effort to increase pathways for skilled trades workers, some question the wisdom of reducing the amount of experience needed for licensing out of concern for both effectiveness and safety. As the Youngkin administration continues to progress towards its regulatory reduction goal, Virginia leaders will have to answer the question of how to balance faster licensing with thorough training.
Virginia's Executive Mansion, the oldest purpose-built governor's home in the United States, will reopen to the public for tours on Friday, September 2nd, after being closed for more than 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. On September 2nd, the Executive Mansion will open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The mansion will remain open on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for public tours. The mansion will also launch a refreshed website after further details on the opening scheduled next week. Governor Youngkin and First Lady Susan Youngkin will appear at the mansion on reopening day to welcome visitors. The governor and First Lady have worked closely with the mansion's Citizen Advisory Council and staff to create a welcoming and healthy environment for reopening. Visitors will also enjoy curated museum quality art experience exhibiting artwork from the museums across the Commonwealth honoring Virginian artists and Virginia's geographical regions and the spirit of Virginia. No reservations are needed to visit the mansion. Visit the mansion's website regularly for updates on tour times throughout the year. And we'll be back with local news after this.
My favorite thing about my job is I get to walk through the doors and see the residents smiling and happy, ready for the day to see what kind of activities we have going on. My name is Rachel Barefoot, and I'm the activities director here at Dunlop House. We do things like physical exercise, fun arts and crafts. Working with seniors is great because I like to be able to make their golden years the best they've ever had. No matter what's going on, the residents' health and well-being is our top priority.
Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
Downtown Thunder is back, the largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
Welcome back. Let's turn now to local news. A Petersburg woman and her lawyer face a new seat in court. In July of 2019, Pamela Kathleen Hartnett accused 2 prominent area lawyers of abduction and assault. Now both Hartnett and the attorney that represented her at the time, James Broom Thorson, find themselves at the defendant's seat, facing accusations of their own. According to court records, Charles Van Hardenberg, one of the lawyers accused in the 2019 case, filed a criminal complaint of trespassing against Hartnett in December of 2021. In March of this year, Hardenberg filed a criminal complaint of stalking against Thorson. That same day, he filed 2 separate complaints of conspiracy against both Hartnett and Thorson. Records show that police executed a summons on Thorson on May 6th of this year for a Class 1 misdemeanor warrant, and on May 16th, Hartnett was arrested in execution of the Class 1 misdemeanor warrant. On May 3rd of this year, the court granted a preliminary protective order restricting Thorson from physical and verbal contact with both Van Hardenberg and his wife and fellow lawyer, Mari Hardenberg. The initial court date for an arraignment hearing in consideration of the protective order was set for May 5th. That hearing has been rescheduled 3 times, first to May 18th, then June 24th, followed by August 5th. Van and Mari Hardenberg faced 3 hearings in conjunction with Hartnett's original accusations. A preliminary hearing was held in Petersburg General Court on Monday, November 18th, 2019, again on December 16th of 2019, and finally on January 6th of this year. In all 3 appearances, the Commonwealth's attorney made a motion to dismiss the case. Each time, the presiding judge granted the motion and dismissed that case. LNN attempted to reach Mr. Thorson by phone for comment, but has not received a reply as of this report. This next hearing in the case against Hartnett and Thorson is set for October 21st of this year. More details on this story are available in this week's edition of the LNN Insider.
The annual Fort Clifton Springs Art Festival was set to occur earlier this year on Mother's Day weekend, but was postponed due to severe weather forecasted for that original weekend. But rather than being scheduled for a week or 2 later, the postponed festival was dramatically moved to this fall, the weekend of September 24th and 25th. Now Colonial Heights is gearing up for the long-awaited annual tradition. The highly anticipated family-oriented arts and crafts festival hosts the work of local artists and crafters, but is also educational and historical in nature, portraying the historical importance of the fort while showcasing Civil War relics and reenactors. Children's rides, food concessions, and musical entertainment are also key features of the event. Art vendors span a wide variety of interests from painting, collage, and photography to jewelry and other crafts. Concessions include event staples like hot dogs, hamburgers, and barbecue, along with festival favorites, funnel cakes, ice cream, and baked goods, and more. Admission and parking are free, and shuttles are provided from White Bank Park as well. For more information, visit the colonialheightsva.gov or the Fort Clifton Festival Facebook page.
Residents of Petersburg are mourning the passing of the first African-American woman to serve as the city's mayor. Dr. Florence Farley was the first African-American woman who held a seat on Petersburg City Council, elected to that position in 1973. She also became the first female African-American mayor in the city, as well as in the Commonwealth, in 1984. Dr. Farley passed away this past weekend, leaving behind a legacy in the civil rights movement. Born in Roanoke in 1928, Dr. Farley moved to Petersburg to attend Virginia State College, now VSU. Dr. Farley earned a master's degree in psychology from VSU and went on to serve as staff psychologist at Central State Hospital. She continued to serve her city on the Petersburg School Board from 2002 to 2006. In addition to her professional and political accomplishments, Dr. Farley was also a renowned textile artist who exhibited her needlework across Virginia. In 2010, the Library of Virginia recognized Dr. Farley's many achievements by naming her an African-American Trailblazer nominee. Current Petersburg Mayor Sam Parham called his predecessor in the office a Petersburg pioneer.
2 community members from the Tri-Cities have been honored by Fort Lee. The Good Neighbor Awards are given annually by the Commanding General of the installation to honor community members who have contributed significantly to the base and the military. The award honors and pays tribute to people who have enhanced the quality of life of military members and their families. Nominations were submitted from major commands, tenant organizations, and key community leaders to identify those deserving of Fort Lee's highest civilian honor. Nominations are filtered through a Fort Lee Leader Selection Board and then submitted to Major General Simmerly, who approves all nominations. In total, 5 citizens were recognized at the ceremony, with 2 from Prince George. Prince George 4-H agent Herman Macklin and PG County Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Lisa Pennycuff. Macklin was selected for the award because of his work to help youth develop skills in public speaking, critical thinking, STEM, computer coding, video creation, 4-H camping, and more. Pennycuff was chosen for her work providing training and awareness to the Prince George County Schools Division Leadership Team, teachers, and staff on the challenges of military-connected students, as well as for supporting military families directly with an array of initiatives and partnerships intended to enhance the education efforts of military children. More local news when we come back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, foot-long hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
Welcome back. An email meant to create transparency inside the Petersburg Fire Department has instead created more questions. On August 13th, Chief Tina Watkins sent an email to all personnel addressing issues inside the department. But this attempt at transparency created confusion and a response email from Battalion Chief Christopher McGon. He listed 18 issues the chief's correspondents raised with his staff. The chief's email began with her statement of facing a, quote, abundance of disrespect, hostility, and continued resistance to change. The chief went on to claim that, quote, the continued postings and notification to the public of information that is half-truths and false to alarm the taxpayers of the city, end quote. However, the chief did not identify what those half-truths are in the email. The chief now requires all meetings requested with her to occur off the clock, a demand now in question as a possible violation of city policy and FLSA laws. She also intends to eliminate overtime, but did not detail how that policy would be accomplished, except for battalion chiefs stating that, quote, battalion chiefs are exempt employees and do not receive overtime, end quote. She went on to explain that those chiefs seeking overtime are welcome to step down to the rank of captain. A major part of the email was addressing safety, specifically in terms of the recent VOSH complaint. In the email, the chief stated that, quote, as the fire chief, your health and safety is very important, end quote. And while the statement addresses her commitment to the firefighter's safety, her policies may not. She explained that due to the recent VOSH complaint, a complete contingency plan for mitigation has been submitted and awaits approval. In the meantime, the chief outlined steps to immediately address the safety, including no visitation, interns, or personal items permitted inside the stations due to concerns of exposure. Visits are to be conducted outside the structure, quote, in the air free of contaminants, end quote. These efforts provide protection for everyone except the firefighters themselves. When it comes to firefighters working and sleeping in the exposed fire stations, the email only requires that mattresses be covered, allowing firefighters to sleep and work in the stations. The chief also required a deep cleaning of the apparatus and stations daily in a 1-part bleach to 2-part water solution. That potent mixture was also questioned as a potential safety risk to firefighters who may have physical contact with the solution and inhalation of fumes, not to mention concerns of the daily labor hours needed to clean, nor the effects of the solution on surfaces such as apparatus seats and those susceptible to corrosion that the mixture could adversely affect. This recent email continues to highlight issues plaguing the embattled chief and Petersburg Fire Department.
On Saturday, September 10th, the Prince George Farmers Market will hold a special event honoring first responders and commemorating 9/11. Starting at 8:15 that morning, there will be a public safety parade along Scott Park Road, followed by a special ceremony at the park's flag poles where Mike McCann with the Virginia State Police will play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes at 8:46 a.m. to commemorate the anniversary of the tragic events of 9/11. Following that musical memorial, there will be story time with Police Chief Early, a bloodhound demonstration with Dinwiddie County Sheriff's Office, and the drone activity by the county's fire and EMS staff. At 9:45 a.m., attendants can enjoy a Project Lifesaver demonstration by the Prince George County Sheriff's Office and a visit from Chase from Paw Patrol. The activities and excitement continue at 10 a.m. when Air Care will land the helicopter on the ball field beside the pavilion for kids to view the helicopter and ask questions. Then at 10:15 a.m., Fire and EMS Chief will do story time with the kids with a free book giveaway. The event will include an animal adoption event from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. near the playground with Sanson, the pet therapy dog on site. Prince George Police, Sheriff, and Fire and EMS will have a free giveaway for the kids throughout the day, and there will be a police car, sheriff's car, and a fire truck for kids to tour throughout the day. Kids can also register to make a wooden piggy bank and craft a wooden puzzle maze. Those first responders who attend the event will be able to enter their name into a drawing for door prizes throughout the day. First responders include police, sheriff, fire and EMS, communication officers, and animal control officers.
The Petersburg High School Boosters Club is sponsoring a comedy basketball game featuring the famed Court Jesters on Thursday, September 8th at 6 p.m. at the William Lawson Gymnasium at Petersburg High School to raise scholarship money for Petersburg High graduating seniors. Unlike the Harlem Globetrotters, who have a team which travels with them that they play, the Court Jesters play a team from the community that the sponsor organizes. At this year's game, they will be playing the Petersburg Defenders, a team made up of members of the school division and fire department, sheriff's deputies, and police officers. The event will also include a halftime show for the kids. Tickets can be purchased in advance for $5 each at the Petersburg Sheriff's Office and Petersburg Parks and Leisure Services Office, or at the door for $7.
The 2022 election is just around the corner, and voters are eager to hear from those running to represent them close to home. In an effort to connect the public with those vying to be their elected officials, LNNUSA is hosting a 2022 Tri-City Council Candidate Forum. The event will take place September 22nd, the night before the early voting opens in Virginia. The forum will give city council candidates the opportunity to speak directly to voters, and the public will hear candidates' reason for running, as well as their vision for their city and goals if elected. LNN's moderators Carolyn Day Pruitt and Valerie Bell, myself, will ask candidates questions, but the event is not a debate. Candidates will have an equal amount of time to respond to questions as well as for closing statements at the end of the forum. Members of the public can attend the forum at no charge, but reservation is required for capacity purposes. Visit tricitycouncilforum.eventbrite.com to reserve a seat. The forum will take place on Thursday, September 22nd, beginning at 7 p.m. at Destination Theater, located in the Crossing Shopping Center, located at 5246 Oaklawn Boulevard. We'll be back with weather and sports after this.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Keep your home comfortable and quiet with the new energy-efficient Daikin Fit system. Right now at Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, we're offering a $1,000 rebate on any new Daikin Fit HVAC system. Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, service that's revolutionary.
I love being at home. I mean, you do get a lot done. For instance, I just got pre-qualified for a home loan online with BSV. So be a homebody. Visit bsvnet.com to see what you qualify for.
And now we go to LNN's G. Anadipe for sports.
If you're into college football, then you're in for a treat. This Labor Day weekend, college football is on gold mode all around the nation. Here locally, we have some good games as well. UVA takes on the University of Richmond. Virginia Tech takes on ODU. Down in Williamsburg, William Mary takes on UNC 49ers. And over in Norfolk, the Norfolk State guys take on, well, it doesn't really matter because you're probably not going to watch Norfolk State anyway. Now, over in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers have decided to drop running back Trey Sermon. Now, I get what you're thinking. Players get dropped all the time. But here's why this is important. Because this comes only a year after the organization has decided to trade up for the running back, drafting him as the third running back in the NFL draft in 2021, signing him to a 4-year, $4.9 million deal. Now, I get it. We all make mistakes. But aren't you glad that your mistakes doesn't cost you $4.9 million? Well, unless we're talking about my kids, of course. No, I'm just kidding. I love those little expensive people. The NFL Network has released its top 100 ranked player list. Can you guess who top 5 players are? No worries, I'll tell you. Coming in at number 5, we have Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. Coming in at number 4, wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Coming in at number 3, quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, defensive tackle Aaron Donald. And number 1, yep, you guessed it, 95-year-old Tom Brady. If he can do it at 95 years old, so can you, young man. Over at tennis, If you're in attendance, then you know that the U.S. Open is on full go mode. This past week, Serena Williams has advanced to the third round, and she's looking to close out her career with a bang. We do wish her luck, and we thank her for everything she's done for the sport. That's it for sports. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks, G. And now we go to Chai, the weather guy Gallahan. How's the weekend weather looking for us, Chai?
Friday kicks off the weekend with a slight cooling off with a high near 88 and a gentle breeze, partly cloudy and a low of 67. Saturday continues the idyllic weather with identical conditions, fantastic for outdoor enthusiasts to get their sunshine without so much humidity and sweat. Sunday brings in the same weather, just without the gentle breeze. Now Monday, which is Labor Day, changes it up a little bit with a slight chance of showers at 30%, high near 88, low near 68. Tuesday and Wednesday continue with near identical conditions as well, also with a 30% chance of showers. This is the time to enjoy the break from the high temperatures and humidity. So go on that healthy outdoor excursion or local road trip. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks so much, Chai. That's all for this week's newscast. We'll see you next Thursday for the latest local headlines. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram in the meantime. Thanks for watching LNN, News by the People, for the People. Hi, I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Chai Gallahan.
Major media companies have editorialized reporting and called it news. The free press was never designed to be journalistic interpretation of the facts. LNN USA is committed to reporting facts about issues important to you, but the free press is anything but free.
LNN USA exists to serve our fellow citizens. As a locally owned and operated digital news network, we forego the expensive printing presses, costly production plants, and corporate overhead. Your membership dollars are primarily used to pay local reporters to cover local news. Reporters dedicated to investigative news and features that matter. To do that, we need your support.
Become a member, and you'll receive the LNN Insider Weekly Email, a 40-page magazine packed full of news and features you won't find anywhere else. Membership also includes full access to LNN News broadcast archives, LNN Insider magazine archives, extended interview clips not aired in the weekly broadcasts, and more.
Your membership supports local independent reporting free from corporate and political pressure and agendas. Become an LNN member today by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page.